do you see hope as an active state or a prayerful state or both? How do you look at it?
First of all, hope for me is a call, is to be connected to the the Christ power or the Christ uh, history, to be rooted in the grace of Christ through the baptism, and within the baptism to be able to answer in our life with the virtues, especially the faith and the hope, and also our capacity to love. But hope, especially, is something that is starting from our connection with Christ. And for this reason, hope is something connected to uh, a way to be motivated, but at the same time is a kind of vision, is a way to watch our reality, our past, our future. Is and so is like a feeling, but it's not just to feel something, but it's also to act and to move. For this reason, in the letter of St. Peter, often there is um, um, a kind of invitation to resist, to be perseverant, to stay trustfully in their position. And for this reason, it's not enough to pray, because, but we need also to be active, and probably our weight, our witness of love, our witness of to be a Christian is a way to show that our hope is uh, is real, is something good. It's not just an idea or just a theoric or a scientist uh, idea. For this reason, I suppose this is maybe something rooted in our history as a Christian and as a baptized, and maybe both. For us as a ministry of the passion, the passions, also is an experience rooted in the passion of Jesus.
Why do we need to hope, do you think, Father Giuseppe? What would you tell somebody if they came in to talk to you about, not having hope? Why is it important for us to hope?
Could answer that because we are passionists, we are rooted on the feet of the cross. For us, it's quite normal that we are not in a peaceful time. We are not in a good or normal situation, but always we are living something that is wrong, is connected to the conflicts or suffering, and so it's not enough to have a good idea, good intention of good relation, because often in the history and also the big and the little history, we need a capacity to go over, and not just to say, I thought that there was this idea to be able to be witness of God and also the good, but uh, we didn't do, or the situation was more complicated than what I expected. We need to live within this kind of confusion, a kind of situation where always something is good and something is not. And for this reason, we need hope, because hope is the only reason we can not stop to to do or to be in a good, and to do good, to be witness of our Christian um, uh, teaching, and I suppose this is maybe something that is automatic, but is hope works not just when the situation is not good. Hope works also when the situation is good. Maybe we are not so aware about this, but we need this kind of uh, uh, awareness that we are rooted in this hope, that every time we see, we watch a crucifix, we can see that this this image could be accepted just if we are hope. Otherwise, it's something that is very come si dice, disturbed, cioè something that is not good because it's a kind of remind that we are as a human, a humanity, we are something wrong because we are able just to produce suffer, war, and battles, and this is something that unfortunately is real because every day we receive news about this kind of weakness and sins of the humanity. And for this reason, we as Christians, we need hope, and we have already hope in Jesus Christ.
As the leader of the Passionist congregation, what are your hopes for the future for the congregation, would you say?
During the chapter, the general chapter, we had opportunity to welcome our situation as a congregation and to understand better what is, the reality. And we know that in this time, in this period of historical period, we are declining in number as religious. And so we are not so strong like in the past. And maybe we have no possibilities like in the past to be uh, e- e- mm, in able to produce mission activities, ministries, and so we have to do less or in a smaller way. But this is not the only point of view, or it's not the only methodology to have an evaluation about our congregation, because our congregation first of all, is an experience of the Holy Spirit through the charism, and the charism is something that we can we cannot have under our power. And the charism is moving, and so you as like people are a sign that our charism here is teaching, is speaking more than what we can do, and for this reason, our hope and my hope is to be able to follow the charism, to be witness, to live in an authentic way our our fidelity to the our vocation, and this needs probably every day awareness about where this our vocation um, start. Our vocation start from the call of God to us to be involved in this mission, in this project, and to be memory of the love of God shown in Christ, in the cross of the Christ, the Christ crucified. And, um, and and this is something that every day we have to repeat. It's not just something that we knew or we already so no, it's something that every day have to be refreshed. And within this kind of daily life, we have to repeat and to put ourselves in this activity. Eh, my hope for our religious is to be every day happy to live in this vocation, to stay there to be a witness of what God through St. Paul the Cross offered to us. And for this, maybe this hope is also a dream that every religious in our congregation could be happy, could be full of grace, could be able to to be good and to do good for the other. I suppose this is a gift of God because we as humans probably are not able to to reach alone this point. And for this reason, hope is the only reason to stay on in the journey, to continue our our activities. Although there are problems or situation of our life is moving sometime in a difficult uh, context.
In what ways would you say that you nurture hope in the pilgrims that you meet, that you see come to visit you in Rome or come to be a part of the Passionist congregation?
For me, it's important. Probably also like the synodal movement speaks to us. It's important to listen to the people, try to offer to them to feel themselves welcomed and important, not for for what they do or what they have done, but especially for the to be there, to be near or close the community, the faith community, the community of God. And I suppose this is our duty, no? To be as a minister or as passionist, we have this gift, and we have this gift not just for us to be kept or to be put in some cupboard, but to be share with many people. And I suppose many pilgrims are looking for something that they don't know. They just move because they feel a desire or some suffering or some incertitude, and we can offer something, and maybe not all the answer or not all the solution, but we can with them to be uh, companion of in this journey, in this journey of the life of the faith. I think this is what we can. Obviously, we can also offer more service, spiritual services, sacraments, I don't know, welcoming, catechesis. But this probably is a fruit of the first welcoming, of this kind of first step that is welcome people to be listen in this situation and what these people are living, and in order to be close and to show closeness in the name of Jesus Christ crucified and risen.
For you to share hope with other people, you need to have your hope nurtured, Father Giuseppe. So, how do you find in your daily life that hope is nurtured in you by the people that you interact with, that you serve, or that you work with?
Yes, for me, we have like a kind of official version, and this is maybe the institutional life of the passionist within a community, makes by our daily time of prayer or sharing and community duties. And this is something that is a kind of environment where we live, and in theory, all we do every day is something connected with our um, vocation, with our answer to the call of God, and and always there is a movement, and within this kind of movement there is hope, because many times we have reason to give up or to stop or to say stop, we have a problem here, we have to change before to go on, we have to to make some changement, and maybe this is correct, but often is not enough, and many of our communities often are suffering this kind of uh, blocked in order to have a fear that if I go on, yeah, if I continue to offer my sharing or also to be faithful to our call and the other no, and the situation is not the same, I'm throwing away my energy, my good is something that maybe is not deserved by the situation. And I think that hope is what really gives up opportunity to continue. And for this reason, is very consolation are also in our context are coming from the communication, sharing, knowing better one another. Because one in our community, one of the problem is that we are doing together many many things. Maybe we are involved in different stuff and similar, but it's not enough to be a community, to be a religious community, and especially to let everyone to feel welcome and to stay in contact with the other. And so this is something that maybe in the past there were different feeling, or maybe also the, I don't know, psychology or society level was different. But today we need to improve this time or this space for listening our experience every day in order to understand, and this is maybe also a spiritual level, in order to have prayer, common prayer, moment of catechesis or similar within or retreats, spiritual retreats is good, but there are also a simple way that is more personal, individual, and this is something that is not. Um, Mm. In Italian, we say banale, simply something that is not, it has no value. No, but this is something that is important. And I suppose that this is a reason because together we can continue. And this is also the reason because we are together. Otherwise, everyone, as the Pope wrote, also joking wrote, that every one of us are able, no, we are able to do better, cioè, we can do what we have to do alone, maybe better in a better way. But if we do together, we are able to go in a longer journey, and not just to say I'm able to do alone because I don't need you because you stop or you have this kind of different vision by me. I suppose this is something that is important for our community, for our witnesses as religious. And so for this reason, our life as a religious community, spiritual community, and also prayerful community, I suppose this through within this experience there is hope. This is the reason to stay to go to every day to pray together or to celebrate the mass, because otherwise it's just a kind of service without a real reason, a spiritual reason. There's also a cultural, we have a gap in a generational gap because we have people 1880s and 70s and people new, and also now we are receiving new candidates from different maybe experience before. And so this is something that is offering to the community some new point of view, is enriching the community, but at the same time is a complication. It's something that need to be received. For the reason we need to listen everyone in order to understand better what is the situation, and not just to classify, to say this is in this way, the other one in the other way, because this maybe is a simple way, but to be divided, not to be in a common way. Now, this is probably, I mean, isn't it in Italy, especially for the religious, maybe old or people who passed through the big change after the Vatican Council. And often there are some resistance. So they don't want more to have a dialogue, meeting. Oh, no, 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 I have nothing to say. I have nothing to listen. Uh, Maybe this is something that is a fear, in my opinion, is a fear to be involved or to be under a kind of judgment. But this is not what we want to do. It's just to say, okay, feel free to listen, to speak, to stay. I suppose that we have to discover this kind of flexibility because in the past, especially maybe I speak about my experience. In the past, there were especially the idea that if there is not this kind of similar experience, if not all of us are doing the same, this is a sign that we are divided. With some one of us is not so convinced, so trustful, or so convinced to what important is our life. But I suppose this is. Today, probably we need to be more flexible and also to understand that it's not just to to put like stuff where there are a lot of things that we have to have together. Otherwise, there is like, something that is wrong. But to understand that every day is different. Every day is a gift for me, for you, and every day has to be welcome as a gift for the community. Not just to say today there were the prayer, you weren't not, so in this way you didn't offer your presence to the community. Maybe this is correct, but this is not the only reading about what happened, and especially it's important to understand what is inside the people, our religions, and in order to understand maybe there are different way to live together. Probably another point is that for some of us to have some structure or some decision, some program, some project is something that gives um, stability, no, give a kind of security. But today we have to be able to be in a different way, not just to say it's written in this way, we decided this way, but to say, okay, today maybe we can decide to have a different day or a different schedule. For this reason, every day we have to rediscuss maybe our time or starting by by our life. For example, when I was provincial in Italy, one of my observation was coming in one community and watching the religious life, and maybe watching the schedule, come si chiama, the timetable about the daily time, and discover that officially there is something scheduled, but practically only few religions live that, or in some cases not not all the religions. I was asking why you take this kind of time, maybe for example the prayer in this time or the prayer in this way, if this is difficult or is not in a good solution for a community. And the answer was, no, we always did in this way. We need continuous. For us, it's important to continue, but practically it wasn't. No, this wasn't a good solution. And maybe it's important also to understand to do less, but to do better, especially at the spiritual level, especially a common in community, and not to make something because we have to do. We do, we are done, but this kind of presence is not so creative, and it also is not giving to the religious new life, new power in what they are doing. And this probably is another one is a kind of fear to change of the changement, fear that we have to continue because otherwise everyone goes to do what he wants. And this maybe is the big fear, no? Disorder, confusion, individualism. Okay. until the life change, because after something happened and you have pushed to change. This is for some religions a kind of conversion because they discover that the situation was not like I thought. Maybe this is a blessing because God eventually call me or take me in this part. No? I suppose this is also a reason to thank God for this for His presence in our life.
What would your suggestions be for how we can remain hopeful in a world where there's so much chaos and anger?
Our hope is something that is connected to this anchor that we, in Jesus passed through the temple inside the most interior part. This is probably is the heart of the Father. And this is an image in order to say that this is maybe the boat is moving, but there is this anchor. And this idea that Jesus Christ is this kind of a bridge to be in contact with this interior source of hope. And without Jesus, we can't nothing. I suppose this is a way because we can't see the origin of the hope. We can't see, and this is what also Father Saint Paul the Apostle wrote to the Romans, speaking the hope, saying that until we are hoping or living the hope. This is because we can't see, no, we can't have a clear vision about what is prepared for us. But until we have not this vision, we need to live in hope. And to live in hope, it seems to be rooted in contact with Jesus Christ, who is directly in contact with this kind of source of the salvation, who is the love of the eternal Father. I suppose this is the only way to uh, the point of view to judge the world, because every day there are conflicts, or there are also suffering, human suffering connected to our life, to be people that we are not eternal, and so we have to face also our weaknesses, the disease and similar, and to be able to understand that we are inside this kind of a connection, and like connected to a chain that is rooted on the love of God. I suppose this is a, is also a way to offer to the people may be involved in problems, suffering, complication, a way to especially to watch themselves, not like in a desperate way, to be alone, to be abandoned, to be, I don't know, to in loved by God or by other, but to to be in struggle, but at the same time under this love of God. And obviously, and our first duty is to stay attached to this bridge. Also, Saint Peter in this letter, right, that to the Christian, that they have to be attached, rooted in this in Christ through the hope, in order to be able to resist to all could be the worst situation, to lose faith, to lose love, to abandon it to a kind of revenge, a kind of okay, just to say because the other because there is a problem, so I just live in a kind of a reaction, and so to have close people uh, um, with hope, or able to watch the situation and to judge the situation with hope, also for the other is a way to have a more life, more a positive vision, and maybe also not just to fall in a closure or in a kind of um, desperate position, and to watch the future in a in a better or in an open mind, in a way more uh, able to continue to our activity. Also, there are reasons not to do.
How would you say that God has nurtured hope and trust in your life, Father Giuseppe?
One of the points that I feel to be under a kind of control of God is that in this last 10, 12 years, my life was decided by others because I was elected provincial and after elected consultant and after elected general. But in theory, it wasn't my intention to do this work or to do this job or to do this kind of movement. And every time, for me, was a calling to continue to follow, to answer. And uh, this, for me, is a way to be part of a bigger plan that is, and also is a salvation because probably if I go to do what I want or what I wish, probably I go to close myself in some particular ideas and maybe conditioned by my fear, my ideas, and God um, doesn't allow me to do this and offer me a kind of new solution, new new uh, activities, and at the end, the the only way to do or to live this is to be rich in hope. So to say, okay, you call me, I'm here. Okay, let's go. And hope for me is just a day to in Italy we say vediamo, cioè vedremo, cioè we'll see, we go. Cioè, but until I don't make the first step, obviously there are a lot of fear, reflection, doubts. But first of all, the only thing to do is to go. Okay. God wants this. Okay, we have to go, and we go in hope because in uh, since from my uh, point of view, or also in agreement of what are my uh, capacity or skill, I can have a lot of mm, fears and also objection in order to be able to do what in this time I have to do. But this not just to be general, but also to be uh, trustful to or faithful to the passionist vocation, because also today to be a religious or to live is something that ask to everyone on us to every day to look for something new and not just to do like in a collective way. I do the minimum in order to be present, but not too much, in order to save maybe an image to stay, to go today officially a good example, but not to really. But I think this is something not true. So it's a kind of um, like betrayed myself, insomma. And for this reason, to go also with hope is practically a daily a daily journey. Hope is a normal way to live, and probably Faith, okay, is maybe more, I don't know if theoretical, but it's something that is connected with what we, is our imagination, our also way to think about God. But practically, faith is like everyday power to continue in what we have to do. For me, is something that is exit by the life, cioè our experience and humanity, because we need to discover our experience, that not ju- to think that we need first to be different and after to go to the people, but to start with what how we can, and after to share to know that already there is possibility to share something and maybe to go together. Ecco.
What practices and people have helped you find hope when you need it most? Is there anything in particular that lifts you up?
I think that my impression is that our life is like a gift of God, and it's not matter to organize ourselves, our life, but to let God to organize our life. And so the first point, as I said, is listen. But before to listen, we have to welcome. Welcome, welcome. It means to to accept that maybe today I maybe I had programmed to do or to be in some place, and maybe now uh, something else happened. I have to do or to be in another place. And um, in this way, I suppose that there are people, or there was people in my life that show this kind of joy, uh, capacity every day to stay in their life in a good way, happy because there were this kind of awareness that God were or is with them and with us. And and I think this is what's important for also for us, and also for our life, cioè, especially we as religious, we have not a family. For example, my I I noticed my niece in October at a baby, no? And
Uh-huh.
quindi knew became mother, and I started this kind of a new adventure with to be able to look after this child. And this is something that as a, as I I see is very focused on this kind, because there is a need. The baby needs to be looked after, but also to 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 be accepted in his situation. And probably this is a kind of uh, maker of a planning, because the life is connected to what if the baby is good or not, if the baby is
Uh-huh.
sleeping or not, and so. And in our life as religious, because we gave to our life to God, is connected to the community, but also to God. For this reason, we have not maybe a priority, if not what where we are, and maybe the situation of our duty, but within this general duty to be a pastor, to have a minister, to have a responsibility. Our life is a relation, is welcome the situation, is to be attentive to the people, to the situation, and to maybe also to be able to anticipate something that is not yet arrived to me, but I can have a kind of a spiritual insight in order to say maybe these people, this man, this situation need to be to be close. I need to maybe to go there to show my closeness. And and this is for me is very um, power in consolation, in also in hope, because often I at the beginning I go uh, feeling that I have to do something for this situation, but after I come back, that really is different. Cioè, I received something, I got new feeling, and this is something that is wonderful because there is a surprise, no? There is a kind of idea that life, and also in this situation, simple situation, is always something that is more rich than what I thought or uh, was expected by me. And for me, this is a kind of um, surplus. I don't know is the expression in English. And this is a God gift to have something that is always is always important for our life, and because from this experience we can strengthen our our ability to be open to the other, to the situation, and to get more attention to the situation, and not just to uh, to stay under our word, cioè our activities, our duties, but to say that first of in our life, the most important thing are the situation, the people, and to listen them and to share with them our faith, our hope, to discover that God is there.